They had known each other for a little over 2 months now. Those 2 months changed his life and he was happy he met her. She tightened her grip on his hand the moment the doctor stepped into the room. He couldn't even look at her. Tears were streaming down her cheeks, and the sight of her being so sad broke his heart. What the doctor said to them stopped him in his tracks. Chester married the love of his life, Mindy, at the age of 25. He had a massive crush on her in high school, but who didn't? She was a cheerleader and also one of the most beautiful women he's ever seen. Chester left the town to go to college, but Mindy stayed behind to pursue her nursing degree. He went home over the Christmas holidays, and his parents shared with him that she was his grandfather's caretaker. There was chemistry between Chester and Mindy ever since high school. Seeing her after years and without the constraints of high school rekindled a dormant spark that erupted into a raging pillar of flames.
If you like our content and want to see more, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive the latest videos. Now, enjoy the story.
Chester asked Mindy to be his girlfriend and after a few months of dating, asked her to be his wife. The pair got married on a beautiful beach in North Carolina. However, what had been a blissful married existence gradually descended into pandemonium. Chester still loved Mindy more than anything, but he could no longer deny that there was trouble in paradise. Things started going wrong from the moment Chester had to leave the country for his job. One of his close friends informed him that his wife was not abiding by their vows. When Chester returned home, he questioned Mindy, resulting in a series of conflicts that resulted in a bitter divorce. Chester did not feel like himself after their divorce. He still managed to flourish in his career. He wasn't doing so well in his romantic and personal areas. Chester loved Mindy with every fiber of his being. He was stunned that she could so easily throw everything away. He believed that things would improve with time, but he was wrong. However, the moment he met Anna, everything changed. Chester was 50 years old when he met Anna. It had been more than 2 decades since his divorce. He was completely recovered from the anguish that the marriage had brought him, even though he didn't realize it. With Anna, everything was different. There was no denying that Mindy and Chester had insane physical attraction, but with Anna, things moved slower and he savored every second of it. Chester met Anna at a work convention. She couldn't be a day older than 25, but Chester was immediately drawn by the way she carried herself. Chester had never seen somebody dressed so smartly, with such a blend of elegance, sophistication, and presence. Chester realized he needed to ask her out for lunch as the convention came to a conclusion. The next month flew by. Chester and Anna had been on numerous dates. Chester was drawn by how adventurous Anna was, and she introduced him to a lot of new restaurants and hidden gems in their city. Despite the fact that everything between them was wonderful, Chester was concerned about a critical aspect of their developing relationship. Chester and Anna barely spent a second apart, and it concerned him that the only romantic thing they had done was share a hug and occasionally hold hands. Chester was reminded of how he hurried things with Mindy 20 years ago, and he wanted to do things differently with Anna. But then, as he was driving to visit her for their next date, Calamity happened. Chester had been deep in contemplation, attempting to come up with a way to communicate to Anna why he was being so guarded with her. He didn't notice the vehicle speeding toward him at the intersection. Blood was streaming from his face, and a bone protruding from his left forearm as he awoke in the chilly tarmac. Chester woke up in the hospital with a teary Anna by his side the following day. A doctor stood above him, a metallic board in hand and a solemn look on her face. The doctor explained everything that happened, detailing that Chester had been involved in a gruesome accident, and if it weren't for Anna, he wouldn't be awake that morning. But she also revealed something else that made Chester's lips part. "You lost a lot of blood, Mr. Reginald," the doctor began. "The hospital has been in dire shortage of blood, so we needed a donor." Her eyes flitted over Anna. "She called your phone as the EMTs brought you in, and we informed her of your situation. When she heard you needed blood, she volunteered immediately." Her eyes turned away, and as if forcing herself to speak, she added, "While we were doing some preliminary compatibility tests on both your blood, we discovered something." Coming closer with her board in hand, the doctor said, "We found remarkable resemblances in your blood, and when we ran a DNA test, we discovered you two are related." She presented her board and through her lips continued moving. Chester couldn't hear anything. His ears buzzed and his eyes stung. They were related? How? He'd been an only child, and he knew all the kids from the few cousins he had. He was about to speak when Anna explained the rest of the mystery. "The results say you're my dad," she said. Her voice broke and she wiped her eyes as her other hand squeezed Chester's fingers as she'd been doing since the doctor started talking. Anna revealed that her mom had been married once, but the marriage hadn't lasted. She was the product of that unfruitful bond. Chester stared up at her and at once realized something. Throughout their interactions, the bond between Chester and Anna had been strong, but it hadn't been romantic. Looking at her now, he saw how much she resembled Mindy, but only in looks. Her heart and mind were warm and giving. "A daughter," Chester sighed. He squeezed Anna's hand and struggled down until he kissed it. Although he didn't hate Mindy anymore, he wished she hadn't hidden this from him. He squeezed Anna's hand again. "We'll figure this out, daughter," he smiled.
If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.